Did you know that Hugo was never actually Vikir's enemy? The recent chapters of Revenge of the Iron-Blooded Sword Hound reveal that his father, Hugo, wasn't the true cause of his death. In the past, among all his cold-blooded relatives, his kind-hearted brother Set was the only one who comforted him. And even when Vikir was wrongly accused, Set stood by him, defending him until the end. However, Vikir was executed. After he regressed to the past, he dedicated his new life to getting revenge on the man who killed him, Hugo de Baskerville, his father. Vikir walked a thorny path once again, and with his knowledge and skills from the past, he grew stronger rapidly. At one point, he was invited to a family dinner where only the core members of the family were allowed to gather. There, he reunites with his kind brother Set for the first time after regressing. However, in this life Vikir had obtained strength and experience he didn't have in the past. With them, he sensed the presence of a demon at the dinner table. He looked around, and to his surprise, it was none other than his brother Set. Even his reflection couldn't be seen in the glass. Vikir was confused, but whether Set was a demon or not didn't matter. His plans hadn't changed to ruin Hugo. Hugo was once a charismatic man who loved his wife and daughter. But one day, his wife died from an illness, and if that wasn't bad enough, his daughter Penelope was kidnapped by a barbarian tribe called Lococo. This incident turned Hugo into a madman, obsessed with finding his daughter. With the excuse of widening the borders of the empire, he fought the barbarian tribes. And doing that alone was difficult, so he increased the number of his wives through arranged marriages and mass-produced offsprings. And decades later, he created a family that no one could look down upon. Coincidentally, Vikir had recently visited the barbarian's forest where he met a little girl who shared both barbarian and Baskerville blood. After questioning her, it turned out she was the child between Penelope and a barbarian. Vikir brings her back to the Baskerville residence, and in hopes of destroying Hugo by revealing the fact that her daughter had a child with a barbarian, he introduced the child to Hugo. Hugo was shaken, and Vikir wished he would be confused and disgusted, so he could take his revenge. However, what happened after was unimaginable. Everyone was dumbfounded to see that Hugo Lee Baskerville would let a child play with his beard. Hugo cried while saying that he couldn't believe that the day would come when he would be called grandfather. It was then that Vikir realized that the Hugo that he knew no longer existed. That night, Vikir's subordinate reports to him the investigation on Set. Apparently, he manages a bunch of orphanages. However, the children who had been adopted were never seen again, and Set is likely the mastermind behind the missing children's case. Then it suddenly hit him that all this time he had missed his true enemy. To instigate chaos by angering Hugo, Set tries to kill the child, only to fail multiple times. He was the one who had poisoned Hugo's wife, as well as helped the Lococo tribe kidnap Penelope. He planned to kill the child more horrifically, and at that moment, someone broke the magic defense of his hideout. Set was astonished to see that it was none other than Vikir. As they confront each other, Set reveals his true colors and attacks Vikir. In the next moment, Set's arm flies off. The pain he felt was as if his soul was being burnt. It was because Vikir possessed a relic of the ancient devil known as Beelzebub. But what shocked him more than that was Vikir's soul, which smelled like a demon. He asked him if he had been to hell. Vikir was enraged. Not only did Set fool him into thinking that he was his savior, but he also framed him for crimes he didn't commit. With a menacing voice, he told Set to wake up, and that he wouldn't let him die a comfortable death. And that's all we have for today. Thank you for watching, and see you again in the next video.